Hello, everybody.
Greetings.
Yeah. I do that since that last time. And of course, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people here, that'd be appreciated. Um, Also, for those of you who may be watching this on replay or would have, well, watching on replay, it wouldn't probably do much good. But for those who are live in the chat, if anything we talk about tonight, of course, grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we will try to answer those to the best of our ability. So, with that being said, RJ, how is your week going?
It's over. It's Friday. It's Cinco de Mayo. So, it's my excuse for tonight to drink a bottle of beer. I have to come up with different excuses for every other night, but for tonight, the excuse is Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah,
I even have chips and salsa set to the side that I will be munching on after this. So,
yeah.
I'm
I'm
appropriating culture right and left.
yeah. I'm just trying to kill a little time while we wait for people to come in. That's how you know how that goes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Got to wait for the audience.
Would be nice if the audience was already here, ready to engage, but doesn't always happen, unfortunately.
No, well, you got to be out there on the Facebooks and the Twitters and saying, "Hey, here's the link to tonight's show. Be
Well,
sure to come out."
I did that. I've already shared my stuff, so I usually try to do it like a little over an hour before, but sometimes if I get busy, it may not be up until about a half hour before. So I just did it a few minutes ago.
Well, tell me again what we're reading tonight, and I'll make sure that my followers know what book we're digging into here.
Okay, so the actual books we're going to be reading are Speed Comics Volume 1, Number 3 from Brookwood Publications, and Champion Comics Volume 1, Number 2 um, from Worth Carnahan Publications. Both of these companies were eventually absorbed into Harvey. Um, um, so, just to give you a little bit more of an. There's JR. JR Exner's here. And Woody's here.
Hey, Woody. Hey, JR.
So, as always, guys, if you can help us out by liking and sharing the stream, seeing if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. Anyways, let's take a quick peek here. Hail Zenu, and let us begin. Hi, guys. Hey, Woody. And then, hail Woody from JR there. All right. So, with all that being said, I will go ahead and bring this up as soon as I can find what I'm looking for here. All right, as I said, we're gonna first off do just some summary work here real quick, and I get some other stuff here going.
All right. Took a while to type all of that on a phone, but it's out there.
Well, you know that a lot of my reminder posts are pretty detailed. So, and then Woody saying greetings all. All right, so let me just get to the actual thing that we want to look at here real quick on this part. Okay, so this is large feature comic. This was kind of an anthology type. Well, actually, this one was a little different. This one was a single feature type series. Before we got the quarterly features that would come out, like Superman and stuff like. Actually, Superman
Right.
was out by this point, but some of these companies, like here, Dell, I know United Features did a series called Single Series, but this one was called Large Feature Syndicate. And in October 1939, the 5th issue of this series went on sale. So this reached issue number 5. This is Tarzan and the Apes, Adventure Jungle. Let's see. Chapter 1, Marooned in the Jungle, from Tarzan Daily, United Feature Syndicate, sometime in 1929. Of course, these stories were also, of course, reprinted in United Feature Syndicate comic, Tip Top Comics, when it first came out. But you have Chapter 2, At Home in the Jungle, Chapter 3, A Captive of the Apes. So basically, it was set up as a serial, as you know, as a daily newspaper comic serial.
Right.
So again, I think they got the first 10 chapters here. Script Edgar Rice Burroughs, pencils by Hal Foster and Henry Valley, and then Hal Foster did the inks. So this is just an acknowledgement, a milestone acknowledgement. Again, if we could read this, you would, but as you know, even on the comics like that do have the story, they usually won't. They usually have to take that out for copyright reasons. But with that, let's get ready to move on to our reading material. And let's see, we'll first hit. Oh wait, no, wrong page, Mike. Let's see. That's where we want to go. And I think I'll have you do the narration, of course, RJ, and then we'll figure out the other voices as we go along.
All right.
As I get there, see, I got to go down to small press there because, as I said, the first few issues of Champion Comics were actually Worth Carnahan, which is considered a small press by. There we go. Carnahan. All right. Oh, wait, that's the latest book. Let's see now. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. Champion Comics. Now, the interesting thing about this one, and even when I looked up some of the summary information on, so apparently the first issue was just an ash can issue of this. That's why the regular copy started issue 2. Apparently, this is it. This is actually technically volume 1, issue 2, even though it acts as the first issue. There was an issue 1, but apparently it was an ash can.
Okay.
So
it's such a champion that they even put the laurel leaf of victory around the capital C there.
Yeah. Champion Comics, meet the champ. He's a real He-Man and all-around champion, winning fame and fortune by his sheer physical strength, his unusual ability, and great courage follow his exciting adventures in college sport. Go with him into battle against the dangerous underworld and treacherous foreign spies. He is your hero. He's a champ. Now, this character, it's kind of an archetype. It's an interesting archetype that was used a lot back then. You had a number of features that had like sport type heroes.
Right.
Yeah. I know, like, for example, Pep Morgan in DC Comics was another guy like this. You know who these guys are kind of fashioned after if you really think about it?
I couldn't think who the sports heroes be fashioned after.
Jim Thorpe.
Yeah, there you go.
Because a lot of these guys, they weren't just bound to one particular sport. They would, they usually, in a lot of these adventures, they'd usually bring them in for like a big game or something like that, or if something big was going on, like maybe Racketeers is trying to do something dirty or what have you. So they'd bring in, this guy as almost a guy to counter some of that. So
yeah, because when the town's in danger from mobsters, the first person you want to turn to is that freshman in college who's playing football. He's the guy to save the day.
I am visiting from the Department of Redundancy Department. Let's see. I didn't know Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote the comic Tarzan.
He the comic Tarzan was adapted from his stories directly, and that's one of the reasons why it's not going to be published on the site. Not because of it's because they've kept the trademark. The story's fallen into public domain for sure, but they can't call it Tarzan, therefore they can't publish it as Tarzan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. 64 pages in full color. Of course, you also have Neptina, Jungle Man, and Liberty Lads, among others, and many others. Let's get into this then. Hello, fellows. Sure makes me feel good to meet such a swell of pals, and to know that you'll be with me from now on. You will, won't you? And say, we're going to have a lot of thrilling adventures together. You and I. There's an exciting and dangerous time ahead for me, and I'll need you right there with me in the tight places. Don't let's see. Don't get me down, pals. How about being sort of assistant champs? Now this is one of the funny things too about this time too, how they try to get the kids involved by doing like these little clubs and stuff you'd write into.
Oh yeah, make them feel like they're part of it.
Right. That's a great idea. Ted, tell you what, just eat lots of good fresh vegetables. Get plenty of sleep, and read
real He-Man exercise.
A real He-Man exercise, and you'll be surprised how strong and husky you'll get. Well, don't forget your our date for neat moments right right here in Champion Comics. Now I must hurry out for football practice. See you later, the champ. Look at that. And granted, I was able to still read all that, even with all the blotches there and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyways, his name, he calls himself the champ. The only time I ever saw somebody who was called the champ, they were always a boxer. And there's like, he's like, oh, you don't want to get in a fight with him? That's the champ.
Yeah, kind of like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
The champ story on page 32. So, all right. So there's some narration right there in that green box. You want to go ahead, RJ?
On the freshman team at Midwest University, a certain husky young man is making quite a reputation for himself. He is called the Champ, and his schoolmates, at first frankly skeptical, are now beginning to regard him with open admiration.
Look at that! Look at that fellow go! Nothing seems to be able to stop him. Yeah, he's that new guy they call the champ, and darned if he ain't living up to his name. Coach Barker has his eye on him. All right, you want to let's see. Oh, the coach is so. Let's see. I'll do the guy in black there. You want to do the coach there? I think the coach there is the guy in the cap there.
Yeah, sure.
Um, that's the kind of material we need on the varsity, coach. A little more seasoning, and he'll be tops.
Right. He's a great kid. They call him the Champ, and it fits him like a glove. For if ever I saw a champ in the making, he's it. Strong as an ox, quick as a cat on his feet, plenty of brains, too.
All right. I'll let you be the champ, who's the blonde guy right there, I believe.
All right.
But I'll be the other guy. Say, champ, what are you made of anyway? Boy, when you dived into me, I thought I was hit by a 2-ton truck.
Sorry if I got too rough, fellas. Gosh, when the game gets exciting, I just don't know my own strength. Hope I didn't hurt you, Bart. I did sock you rather hard.
All right, here's the part where I come in. There's that new fellow they call the champ. Gee, Mabel, but he's good looking. He's a honey. I saw him playing football this afternoon and he was wonderful. Wait a minute, champ. Wait a minute, champ. I've got a message for you.
Champ has no real name, does he?
They just call him the champ. He's just so um we're all going to the Checkers tonight and dance, champ. How about coming along? Faye Madsen, that keen brunette from Chicago, wants me to be sure to bring you.
Nix, Billy. I don't dance. And besides, I've got some studying to do.
Look, brains and bronze, right? He's a scholar and an athlete.
Yeah. He's just a week away from he's just a week away from breathing in some hard water fumes.
You would think so, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you have to remember too. Around this time, college football was real big. It was, it was a real big thing back in these days. Okay, fellow. If you want it that way, Faye can't say I didn't ask you. But what do you want to study for? You're head of the class now.
There's lots to learn. Besides what's in the textbooks, Billy. You run along and have a good time, but watch out for Coach. You're supposed to be in training. So long.
Even cares about his teammates to kind of remind him of that, huh?
Yep. Wonder if it is fun dancing. I like music and rhythm. But those silly girls get in my hair. Why don't they leave me alone?
Typical boy, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Champ is stopped on the campus by Butch O'Leary, the school bully. Is that a title? We got an opening.
So you're the champ. You don't look like no champ to me, babyface. Maybe it's chump instead of champ. Now, just so you'll know which side your bread's buttered on, I'm the champ around here. Get that?
I've heard about you, Butch. I don't want any trouble with you. One side, please, and let me pass.
He's not going to take too kindly to him, is he?
You.
Oh, no, you don't, Mama's little chumpsy. When I'm talking to you, stay and listen. Guess I'd better teach you some manners.
All right, you dumb cluck, you asked for it. Butch is suddenly bewildered by a rain of quick, sharp blows, and then...
And that's the champ doing the licking, boy. Can he fight? Gosh, look at that. Butch is getting licked.
The bully measures his lengths on the campus, out cold.
All right. Golly, what a wallop. That's the first time Butch ever got knocked out. Yeah, and did you hear Champ? He apologized for hitting so hard. Say, if he didn't mean to sock Butch that way, what could he do if he was in earnest? That's probably a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm hurting you by
They know what
accident.
they're
Wait till I
saying,
try.
though. He wasn't even trying to beat up Butch here. He was just defending himself. Can you imagine what would happen if he tried? Oh,
Yep, that's what they're
man.
thinking.
Sounds like a dangerous individual there. Right.
Later, Champ goes out for football.
Look at that, Spike. You couldn't do any better yourself. Yep, that freshman's timing is perfect, and he's got a heap of power in that leg of his. Muscles like iron. Notice him in gym? Best all around development I've seen. How about letting him play in the game Saturday? Oh, I guess that's supposed to be the coach. I should let you read that part, but I guess you can continue. I didn't realize that was the coach at first.
He changed coats.
Yeah.
Report with the varsity for a workout Friday. May want to use you in the big game Saturday. That course in 11 is a tough bunch and outweigh us plenty, so be prepared for a real battle. Gosh, coach, thanks. I'll do my best. No matter how heavy or tough they are, I'll be glad of the chance. Thanks, Spike.
Okay. Now, before you read the next one over here, that seems more like in class. I think that's a thought bubble as opposed to an actual. So, my suggestion is to do this to differentiate between like thought bubble and speak. That's just what I would suggest if you want to give that a try.
I changed on the last one he did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And thanks, Spike. It'll be great playing with you on the varsity. 3 months and already on the varsity. Dr. Marlin will be proud of me. He'll be in town tomorrow for the big game. Gosh, I hope they'll let me actually play. Ooh, the doctor. Ooh, that sounds like somebody's had a formula, like a super soldier serum.
Or it could be that maybe the doctor is somebody who took care of him growing up. Could be that too.
Oh, this is a book here. It is the night before the big game, and Faye Madsen, ex-Chicago debutante and Midwest popular college widow, is throwing one of her famous parties to celebrate the hoped-for victory. The guests of honor are Spike Colfax and Barry Keene, Midwest's 2 ace athletes, and upon whom all football hopes are centered. There are 2 other guests present whose honor is a bit questionable. They are Silky Burke and Gil Tomlinson, a couple of local gamblers and racketeers in a petty way.
All right. Don't forget, Gil, we've invested 10 grand in that game tomorrow, and Midwest's got to lose. Have you thought of a way to keep those 2 he-men out of the game? Without them, the rest of the team is a pushover. Or is it? Right, RJ?
Yeah. The champ's going to do the work of 2 seniors.
Yeah. Just leave it to me, Selkie. I'm way ahead of you. What do you think I saw Doc Evans for this afternoon? Insomnia? Wait till they come over for a sandwich. Just wait.
It seems that Faye and Gil are old friends. Can it be that she, too, is mixed up in the plot to keep the boys out of tomorrow's game?
You want to do the guy right there?
Okay. Those sandwiches sure look good. How about we eat, Faye? How about it, Faye? Shall we eat? Got my eyes crossed and read both lines at the same time.
You bet. Serve us, will you? You know Spike, don't you? This is the great Spike Koufax, who is going to win the game for us tomorrow. Aren't you, Spike?
Oh, he didn't say. I was looking for his next word balloon. I was like, he didn't say anything. Unseen by the others, Gil Tomlinson manages to insert something into one of the sandwiches and, turning with a smile, hands it to Spike. He spiked Spike's sandwich.
A little bit of pun magic there, huh?
Yes.
There you are, buddy. Eat hearty. It'll help put you in shape for tomorrow. Yeah, eat healthy. You athletes need plenty of vitamins.
Thanks. I'm about famished. Faye sure knows her sandwiches. Go make me a sandwich, Faye. Spike's pal, Barry Keene, joins the group at the refreshment table, and Gil obligingly fixes him a sandwich, too.
Eat. Say, but this swing business makes me hungry. How about a sandwich or something? Sure thing. Here you are, one sandwich. Coming up. All you want, fella. All you want. Just see Gil, the sandwich man. Isn't he obliging?
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Who didn't see this coming?
Are you sure it will be okay? Remember, this was your idea. You promised me no rough stuff. Just sort of, you know.
The next morning, Spike and Barry feel quite ill. Oh, get the doctor, Freddy. Quick, get the doctor. Oh, I'm dying. These pains in my stomach are awful. It got Barry too. Hurry before we both die.
What do you think is going on what do you think is going on in his stomach about now?
Who knows? Could have been an X-Lax sandwich or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Makes him feel a little all cauldron-like in his stomach, something that many of us older folks would know all too well, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Barker, but that is the situation. Those two boys are suffering from an attack of
Ptomaine
poisoning, and they must remain in bed for several days. A bit of tainted food, perhaps, most unfortunate in view of today's game.
It just can't be, Doc. Why, this is the most important event of the whole football season. Midwest won't have a chance.
It was that party last night. That's what it was. They were both at the Checkers. Templeman saw them there. I think in the middle there is. I think. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Something they ate there. I guess. Funny, nobody else was sick.
You're right, Kip. That is plenty queer. Why should it just be Spike and Barry? Gosh, almost as if it's intentional.
Now, just a little word lesson for everybody, because I know what queer tends to mean today. But RJ, would you like to remind everybody what queer meant back then?
It means the same thing it means today. It means strange.
Well, yeah, but today there's another connotation that usually gets thrown in there with that.
Just because we add new definitions to an existing word doesn't mean the old definitions go anywhere.
Just so we will understand that what they were actually talking about. That's all. See, Jr. was saying here. It's interesting that these comics there are very pro varsity sports. I wonder when the Viewpoint comics were for nerds, not varsity sportsmen, who became stereotyped as evil. Well, this was a time though, Jr. in American history when college sports, varsity sports was a big deal.
And they were the readers of the comics.
Yeah. So
it didn't become for nerds until the nerds began to be the writers of the books. And then they started injecting themselves into it.
Are you nuts? Of course it wasn't intentional. That was Faye's party. And she's crazy about Spike.
Yeah, Mort. Guess you've been reading the funny papers. Things like that don't really happen. Not here at Midwest, anyway. So that's not the coach there. That's the two gangsters again.
Oh. Say, Gil, I just heard that those two football guys, Spike and Barry, are laid up with a touch of ptomaine or something. Gosh, that's too bad. Ain't it? Must have been something they ate. They ate. Should I break out in tears, maybe? Their belly aches worth 10 grand to us. Don't forget they should have been more careful what they ate when in training. Old Doc Evans knows his stuff. Hello, Faye. You heard the news? Come on in for a soda or something while I tell you about it. And so, you see, we've nothing to worry about. Just leave it all to Gil. Gil the sandwich man. Ha ha. Your grand is safe, baby. They'll be all right, won't they? I mean, after the game, of course. I'll bet Coach Barker is a wow man by now. So, RJ, without before we get more into the story here, before we get to the next panels and stuff like that, what do you think is going to happen here? I know we probably already talked about this, but what do you think is going to happen?
The champ is going to come in and save the day. He's the champ. He's gonna play harder than two near professional athletes. He's a freshman. Remember that. He's a freshman. He's just out of high school. Tried out for the team. The varsity guy said he can play. Boy, they just bumped him right up to varsity, and he's going to outdo them. He's a Gary Stu.
Yeah. Well, I think
old man. Huh. Tough luck, old man. Anything I can do? Oh, that's for me. Not unless Coach puts you in the game. If he does, make a touchdown for me, will you, kid? Both of them knocked out at the same time. Mighty queer. Mighty queer. Guess I'd better go take my tonic, so's I'll be ready for any emergency. Oh, he's got a tonic! The champ's tonic is a concentrated food element prepared in powder form by his friend and sponsor, the great Dr. Marlin. Its nut-like flavor adds zest to his cereal and new strength to his already powerful muscles. Yes, kids, drink your Ovaltine. The game starts.
Is it true that Spike won't be able to play today? Bat Wilson told me that he heard something to that effect. Maybe it's just a rumor. Let's see. It's a trick of some of those smart gamblers trying to get better odds. Gosh, if Spike was out, we wouldn't have a chance.
But Coach Barker, still a bit dubious about Champ's seasoning, has kept him on the bench. It is now the last quarter, and the score stands 14-0, favor of Corson. One by one, the heavier team has eliminated Midwest's best players. It has been a slaughter. Gee, and Spike asked me to make a touchdown for him. Why doesn't Coach let me get in there?
Put
I'll
me
have
in,
to.
Coach.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm ready
ready
to play. I'll have to use you, champ. Here comes Patterson, our last back. Go in there now as quarterback. Oh, he debuts as quarterback. Okay. Go in there as quarterback. Give them everything you got. 10 minutes left to play. A rally would be a miracle. Just hold them. That's all. Good luck, son. Thanks, Coach. I'll do my best.
I don't know if you remember that song I was starting to sing right there.
Oh,
Put
yeah,
me
John.
in, Coach.
Thanks,
I'm
John
ready
Cougar.
to play today. Can't you see center field?
Wrong sport.
All right.
I promised Spike a touchdown. Well, here goes. Less than 10 minutes to play. The champ signals that he will take the ball and try to get through. 11, 14, 62.
Now they're robbing the cradle. A rank freshie in at quarter. What a game! What a game! So you look at that. The kid's trying to jump us.
Gangway, here I come, boys, and no fooling.
Look at that.
He makes it. Knocking his surprised opponents right and left, the champ bursts through the Corson line and races toward the distant goal. The spectators in the grandstand sit for a moment in stunned silence. Then a great cheer rises from the Midwest section. Come and get me, big boy, if you can run fast enough. This is Spike's score. I promised it to him.
And look at that. Yay! Yay!
For the love of Mike, did you see that? Right through the middle of the line, and not a man could hold him. Look at him go. He's going to make it, too. Go on, champ, old boy. Touchdown! Touchdown! There you are, Spike, all wrapped up to take home. Now I'll try to make one for myself and tie the score. The champ kicks his goal, and the score is now 7-14. The crowd roars, and the chant, champ, 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 rolls across the field to the courageous young freshman. Corson elects to receive the kick, thereby hoping to delay the game. Midwest now has a scant fighting chance, but with 5 minutes left to play, has the champ's wonderful playing gone for nothing? Is Midwest fated to lose after all, 7-14? None of those are champ.
Yeah. Gosh, we haven't got a chance. Now they'll hold that ball and stall along until the whistle. Harmon is through and is going to throw that baby for a loss.
Corson attempts a forward pass. It looks complete. But what's this? It's the champ racing forward at express train speed. He heads straight for the Carson player. Gangway, I have a date here with a football right where you're standing.
Like how he said that?
No, got a date with a football right here where you are. Oh. Hurling himself into the air, the champ snatches the ball from the Corson man's very fingers and keeps going. For a moment, the stunned Corson players... I'm still reading both lines at the same time. How do I do that? For a moment, the Corson players are stunned. Then they converge on the flying champ like an avalanche. But the champ plows through, leaping, ducking, still on his feet, and with the precious ball tucked firmly under his arm.
Stop him, grab him, Somebody, gosh, he ain't human.
Sorry, boys, this waltz is taken. See you later.
Sorry, boys, this waltz is taken. That's an interesting line.
The champ scores his second touchdown for Midwest.
We still have a chance. Boy, what a game. Boy, what a game. What a game. Hurrah for the champ. Ray. That's 13. Now for the kick and the score.
But all is not so rosy. A sudden gust of wind spoils the kick, and Midwest does not score the goal. The score is now 13-14, with Corson still in the lead. Barely 4 minutes left in which to play, and it is Corson's ball. They are stalling. First down, second down. Soon the game will be over. Third down, and Corson is penalized for delaying the game. 1 minute left. Fourth down, and it is Midwest's ball on their own 40-yard line. But the situation seems hopeless. Only 30 seconds remain. But what's this? Champ suddenly retreats way behind the line and snaps out a signal.
I think that's the coach right there.
Oh. Will you look at that? The crazy fool's calling for a kick formation. Why, at that distance, it's impossible. He must be punch drunk. A breathless hush falls upon the grandstand as the champ receives the ball and poises for the kick. Perfectly timed, the champ's right toe connects solidly with the pigskin. It is a terrific kick, and the ball leaps forward in a perfect arc in the direction of the distant goalposts. Now, mind you, they were on their 40. This is a 60-yard goal he's kicking.
Yeah, it's not a 60-yard goal. It's a 60-yard punt.
Yeah.
That's more like a punt-style kick that he's doing right there.
It is a goal, the longest kick on record. The referee's whistle gives a shrill blast, and the game is over. Midwest wins 16-14. The fans go wild. Hysterically, they yell for the champ, that single player who, by his miraculous playing, snatched his home team from almost certain defeat.
Ray! Champ, champ, champ! What a game! What a football player! What a man! I'm sorry. What a man! What a kick! I still can't believe it. It just couldn't have happened. You're right, babe. It couldn't, but it did. We're broke, girlie. Broke, all of us. Flat, and just because that freak freshman had to butt in, I'd like to break his neck. Where did he pick up from? Where did he pop up from anyway? Oh, he's a new fellow at college. Comes from upstate, somewhere country boy fresh off the farm. I've tried to meet him, but he's bashful, and something won't give a girl a tumble. Oh,
Yep. He does it. He doesn't go for girls.
but
I think he's right. Something's queer here. Something's very queer.
Kind of insinuates, don't you? Right?
Yes, it insinuates exactly what he said. Something's very queer here. Very queer indeed.
Well, that she's looking to tumble with a boy.
Yeah.
That's almost a very cute way of saying something naughty.
Yeah, and you know, he won't give her one.
Yeah.
He won't give any girl one.
But I think he's more just a very young man. You know,
this was a lesson to the boy readers. Hey, don't get in trouble. Focus on sports. That'll take your mind off of these other things that are running through your pubescent minds.
Yeah. And to think we framed those other two cookies. That's the baby. We should have tucked under the sheets. Well, Gil, you're the brains. What's the next move? So there's more. Uh,
What's this I hear, young fellow? They tell me you won the game single-handed. You must have made that course and outfit look like a bunch of monkeys. Oh, it wasn't so much, Spike. I just had a lucky break. Anyway, Spike, I promised you a touchdown. I'm proud of you, son. Still don't know how you did it, but this is a day in football history that will never be forgotten. Ah, Coach, it wasn't really anything. I was just lucky. The rest of the team deserves as much credit as I do. They played swell football.
oh wow, he's even pretty humble there, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
The first one on the far left, I think, is the coach.
All right. You just can't get out of this one, champ.
Yeah, champ. Everybody will be there, and even the coach says that it's okay. We'll pick you up at 8. Okay, so maybe that wasn't the coach, but I thought it was because he had the red and the hat on. Said that it's okay. We'll pick you up at 8 and take you to the checkers. Gus, the boss out there, says the sky's the limit, and he means it.
Okay, fellows, I'll go, but I'll have to be a little late. My friend Dr. Marlin is leaving tonight, and I must see him at the hotel before he goes. See you at the checkers. Well, guess I'm in for it. There seems no way out but to put in an appearance at the party tonight. Hope the girls won't make me dance. The doctor said he had an important message for me. Wonder what it is. The powders you have been taking are irradiated. We don't know what it will do to your body.
All right, so
The champ pays a visit to his old friend, Dr. Marlin, who has been in town for the big game.
well, why don't you go ahead and do Dr. Marlin as well, since you kind of already.
I was just making stuff up. But my boy, that was a remarkable performance this afternoon. Even for you, Dean Case tells me that your grades are perfect. You'll be allowed to take your sophomore exams at once. He just came in as a freshman. He's going to be allowed to skip a year. Got it. That's swell, Doctor. Wish you didn't have to get back to the city so soon. I've hardly had a word with you. You said you had some important news for me, Doctor. Indeed I have, my boy. It is exactly 7 years ago that you started eating my food tonic and commenced to build yourself into the wonderful physical specimen that you are today. Your body has now graduated with honors, and it will no longer be necessary for you to take the food tonic. Just eat plenty of wholesome vegetable and cereal foods, exercise properly, and get sufficient sleep.
So basically, the doctor was giving him some kind of supplement that now has ingrained itself into his system. It sounds like.
Yes.
When you say that's the case, RJ.
Taking away the potential weakness of a supplement where they're like, he won't be able to play if he doesn't get his special vitamins that day.
Yeah, but now he's ingrained it into his body so much that all he needs to do is just do what normal healthy people do: eat good foods, get plenty of exercise, and rest.
Remember, my boy, use that great power of yours for good. You have proven yourself the champ of athletics. Be also the champion of right against the forces of wrong. Humanity needs you. Your college career is just a stepping stone to a magnificent future.
Wow, they're really prepping him here, aren't they?
Yeah. No pressure, champ. Graduate college, and then the agency will come and recruit you.
You're in the middle there.
Oh, I did that. Yeah. Don't worry, doctor. You can count on me.
Look at that boy. He juggles them grips like they was muffin at all, and I couldn't even lift them.
Oh, that's an African American character back there, and he was speaking in patois.
They didn't paint him African American though.
No, they just barely did. He's darker. He's the porter.
Uh,
He's a porter.
uh,
Um, Goodbye, my boy. We'll have a long talk during the coming holidays, and I'll tell you something of my plans. Write me often. All right. Goodbye, and have a pleasant trip.
well, how did you like how I handled the porter there, even though I didn't even think he was black? But
No, it was good. It just struck me at the end there, like, why is that guy talking like that? And then I saw his face, looked close at it, and I'm like, oh, they're writing black talk in the 40s. Gee, it's later than I thought. Boy, this story keeps going, doesn't it? The bunch
yeah,
will think that I'm afraid to come to their old party. Guess I'd better grab a cab.
yeah. Well, this is a 12-page story apparently, from what I had read earlier. So
The victory celebration at the Checkers is in full swing, but the honor guest of the evening has not arrived.
where's the champ? He should be here by now. I bet he got cold feet. He's a whiz, all right, on the football field, but the girls panic him. He'll be here. He had to go someplace first. He'll be here.
Sorry I'm late, fellows. Had to see the doctor off, you know.
Hurry, everybody! Here's the champ. 3 cheers for the champ!
The bashful champ looks vainly for escape as the eager co-eds crowd about him.
Oh, champ, why don't you dance? Do let me teach you, please do. Now run along, Gertrude. I'm the one who'll do any teaching there is to be done. When will you have your first lesson, big boy? Oh, you're both nuts, champ. Would you rather just talk with me? Oh, how did you like that, RJ?
Yeah. Hey, kids.
Well, how did you like how I was doing the girls right there?
You did fine. Don't chase the girls. Just excel on the field and let them chase you.
Yeah, actually, that's something my dad would often tell me. Always told me, let the girls make the first move.
Doc Evans, a local bum who once was a druggist, tries to collect a debt from Gil Tomlinson.
Um, but I tell you, Doc, we're clean. That game cost us the whole roll, and I can't pay you a dime. You want to do the Doc there?
You didn't tell me nothing about paying out of winnings. I want my dough. It's a sawbuck like you promised, or else. The champ, managing to be alone for a while, chances to overhear a bit of conversation.
Suppose you don't get your sawbuck. So what? So what? So what? I tell you, I'm broke.
You've got more to lose than I. Suppose they found out that it was you that put Spike and Barry out of the game with poisoned sandwiches. They'd tar and feather you, Gil, and you know it. Better dig up that dough. I'm not fooling.
Oh boy. What's that old saying? There's no honor among.
No honor among thieves. No.
Yeah.
Bring it down. Bring it down. There we go. Get me 5 now and 5 tomorrow. We don't want no falling out over a few lousy bucks.
So I guess a sawbuck is $1,000.
It
I
was
guess
$10.
What was that?
A sawbuck is $10.
$10. Oh,
That's it.
okay. So there. Well, it was 1939 though, but today
Yeah.
that would sound kind of silly. Them, making this much fuss over $10, but
Yeah. I'm gonna get beat up by a gangster over a $10 gambling debt.
okay, Doc. I'll see if Faye has a fin.
So that's how the wind blows. Spike and Barry were poisoned, and that Faye girl was in on the deal. I'll have a look into this. Gil gives Faye the bad news that Doc Evans is going to squeal unless he gets his money.
But I'm broke too. And sure, that sure thing scheme of yours cleaned me. Where's Selkie? Gus, we'll loan him a 10 spot on that ring of his. Yep, yep, that's what he said. He wants his dough, or he'll spill the whole works, and you know what that would mean.
The champ is determined on a showdown with the conspirators. So it was you who poisoned Spike and Barry to keep them out of the game, you dirty rat.
Take your paw off of me, wise guy. Keep your nose out of this, or you'll get yours plenty. Oh, that's the wrong thing to say, isn't it, RJ?
Yeah, this guy can fight. Champ ducks a vicious swing. Not this
Blast
time,
you!
you louse.
Oh,
You know, I think you're right.
Oh, I think. Oh wait.
Yeah,
Blast you! You cost me too much already. I'll murder you.
Not this time, you louse. So you want to get tough, eh? Okay. Champ's fist connects, and the gambler goes sprawling.
You're asking for a kid, and you're gonna get it. Look out, champ! He's got a gun. Fight! There's a fight going on.
Knocking the menacing weapon upward with one quick movement, Champ smashes the infuriated Silky full in the face.
Wow. Full in the face. Are they sure full in the face or fool in the face?
I don't know.
Get the joke?
Yeah. The fight turns into a free-for-all. Who are the other guys fighting?
Yeah. Look like JR had a couple of things to say here. Let me just get those real quick. I was having a sandwich the whole time I was gone. The champ just won a game. Yep, he did. Anyone reminded of Dr. Kellogg, who invented the cereal to stop boys pleasuring themselves by cutting back on sugar? I have never heard of that.
It didn't work.
My guess is it probably made them do it more than being all hyped up on sugar like that.
Champ uses the stunned Silky as a club, wades into the raging mob.
Oh my God, we've seen this before. I remember a story when Slam Bradley basically did the same thing where he grabbed the guy by the feet and just swung him around like a blunt object.
Yep. Do your stuff, Silky. This is swing.
Get that champ, fella Red.
Just as the police burst in, one tough lands a lucky blow with a chair. The champ is down. Champ recovers quickly, but the fight is over. Most of the roughneck mob has gone, including Gil and Silky. Where's Faye? Don't let her get away.
The dame did get away, but Bud, you won't see her around here anymore.
Next day, Champ pays Spike and Barry a visit. Well, fellows, I've got to leave you for a while. Dr. Marlin wired me to meet him in Chicago at once. I'll write you from there.
Oh, I think the other guy is you as well.
Yeah. Hate to see you go, old man. We'll miss you here at Midwest. And Champ leaves for that important interview with the great scientist. So long, everybody. I'll be back after the holidays.
So long, Champ. Happy landing.
But will he return? Sinister clouds are gathering on our Champ's horizon. What adventure awaits him in the big city? And what about Faye and Gil and Silky? Be sure to read next month's Champion Comics.
So, could that mean that maybe we're going to see Faye and Gil and Silky once again? Maybe.
Possibly.
Right. So, how did you like that story, RJ?
I think he was for a week and was being called back, the professor just saw him, but now it's like super important that you come to Chicago. So, in fact, it's like the next day. The professor's probably still on the train.
Yeah. Well, the time that could have passed could have been longer in between the two panels.
I suppose, but the party, he went to the party, and that's where the fight was. So it would have had to been after the fight and talking with the photographer.
Queer championships. Ice sitting champ. I guess it's the fish catching champ. Outswam a sea lion. Home run king with only 6 home runs. And now that is pretty possible there. Let's see.
In 1902, the home run king.
There was a time before Babe Ruth when, a guy could, home runs were a lot more scarce back then, and you'd have often guys who'd lead the league in home runs with only like 5 or 6.
Yep.
Kind of funny because there was a Hall of Famer named Frank Home Run Baker, and he played around what they called the dead ball era, which was prior to 1920. And in that, the most home runs Home Run Baker ever hit were 12 in a year. Neptina, Queen of the Deep. Look at that, RJ. Would you say that's some good girl art right there?
Oh, yeah. Who is the artist on this?
Yeah, so Neptina, Queen of the Deep. Here's the next one we're going to do here.
It is reasonable to suppose that if life on this planet originated in the sea, a race of super animals of high intelligence may have developed under the water and will someday rise to challenge man's supremacy of the land. So, in the nation's capital, a grim-faced committee meets to consider a serious situation.
Gentlemen, as you all know, 2 of our newest and best submarines have been mysteriously wrecked. We want to know how and why. You want to read that extra right there?
Extra, another submarine wrecked.
In this case, the narration's at the bottom there, so what do you...
Okay. The committee receives startling news.
It is a report from the salvage ship. Divers have found all hatches open and no bodies aboard.
Lieutenant Brad Fletcher, the Navy's best undersea expert, is assigned to the case.
I'll let you be Lieutenant Fletcher there.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Lieutenant. You are to investigate these submarine disasters.
Brad and his aide, Whitey Larson, prepare to leave for the front. Queer business, Whitey. Looks bad to me.
Smells plain fishy.
Same guy.
Oh yeah. Well, Brad, I guess this is it. There's a salvage ship over there.
Yeah, come below and get my suit ready. This specially made suit needs no surface connections, Whitey.
You can stay under for hours too, can't you?
Oh, Mike is frozen. You froze up there for a minute. I thought the show was over.
I hope not.
As Brad's ship heaves to the last salvage. Oh, it's the last salvage. They just spelled it wrong. Diver is hauled aboard. Brad reports to the officer on duty and takes charge of operations. Lieutenant Fletcher reporting, sir, with Admiral... Oh, that's not him. Brad's the guy hearing it, I guess. No, wait. That would be Brad.
Yeah, that would
Brad
be
Fletcher.
Brad right there.
Okay. Lieutenant Fletcher reporting, sir, with orders from Admiral Gannon. Brad dons his special diving suit. Whitey stays aboard to watch for Brad's signals. Down, down he goes into the darkening depths. Reaching the bottom, Brad uses his powerful hand light. Brad locates the sunken submarine. A huge shape dashes at Brad. It is a shark! Brad dodges and rips open the monster. Getting rid of the man-eater, Brad enters the submarine through one of the open hatches. The machinery seems to be okay. No reason for trouble there. Brad searches the craft from stem to stern without finding a single clue. All seems to be in order. Why did the ship sink? And what has happened to her crew? Going outside to look around a bit, Brad sees mysterious green lights approaching through the water. He crouches behind a jagged rock formation to watch. Something strange is about to occur. A strange sight meets Brad's astounded gaze. A group of weird fish-like men are swimming toward him.
Fish-like men. So what do you think those are, RJ?
I don't know. I think they're men like fish. But, that's just my
Well, there's
bias.
another term for it. Do you know what that term is?
Isn't it mermen?
Mermen, right.
Yeah. These don't quite look like mermen. These look more like fish with arms.
Oh, yeah.
Human in general form, but with queerly fish-like heads. The strange beings enter the submarine, leaving one of their party on guard outside. That's the one he knocks out. Soon they emerge from the wreck, carrying off part of the sub's equipment. A giant eel suddenly attacks Brad, as eels are known to do. Brad's knife again claims a victim, and the eel writhes in a death agony. But the fight has betrayed Brad's presence to the fishmen. They close in upon him. Brad prepares to give battle. One creature draws a gun-like object, we call that a gun, from its belt and levels it at Brad. He feels a distinct shock, then a cold numbness. Unable to move.
It's just not a gun it is a gun, but it's not a gun that shoots bullets. It
shoots something different. Unable to move, Brad is carried off by the fishmen. As he is rushed through the dark waters, his senses leave him. All goes black. Eventually, the raiding party reaches the portals to a weird undersea city. Brad is carried through a wide street. His captors take him into an oddly shaped building, and Brad feels the paralyzing effect of the ray gun wear off. He is brought to a sort of laboratory, presided over by a fishman scientist. Brad's oxygen supply is about exhausted, and he experiences difficulty in breathing. The fishman comes to his rescue. Brad is fitted with a strange globe-like helmet that permits him comfortable breathing. It is like being inside of a great bubble.
Now that was a common thing back in those days through the 60s, where the idea was they just put like a spherical shape over your head to act as a breathing helmet. That was something that they did from this point in time through the 60s, as far as I remember.
Yeah, he's extracting oxygen from the water around him now. The fishman focuses Brad's attention to his green-hued headlamp, and Brad is aware of telepathic communication between them. Fishman attendants massage Brad with a paste-like substance that makes his skin waterproof. Why? And helps resist pressure. Well, you're already at the bottom of the ocean. I'm sorry. You're flatter than an empty tube of toothpaste.
I guess they're putting something on him to make him more fish-like, I would say, huh?
Well, no, they're making him be able to stand up to the pressure of the bottom of the sea, but he's already there. You have to put that up where there's no pressure, and then he can resist. But it's comics, folks.
Well, yeah, well, and I know that Rick and Tim have done that too before, where they point out those plot holes.
Yeah. There. Not to mention how cold it is down there, so we're going to give him some underwear to swim around in. Brad is then supplied with a harness uniform and mentally instructed in its use. He gets the impression that he is not exactly a prisoner, but more of a special guest. A fishman guard conducts Brad to his quarters, a box-like room.
You know how they say that, like a gun-like weapon, a box-like room.
Yeah, it's a box, but it's not a box.
That kind of text.
They're just trying to emphasize how different it is. It's like this thing, but it's not this thing.
Yeah.
And shows him how to manipulate the cube light that furnishes a steady yellowish illumination. Oh, here's the light switch, sir. It's a cube, but it's a light switch. Extinguishing the light, Brad lies upon a seaweed couch and falls asleep. To be awakened sometime later by the fishman guard. Brad is told mentally that the queen wishes to see him. He is conducted to the throne room. And here's where it all falls apart. All the men are fish. She's not. Brad marches between long rows of uniformed fishmen and comes face to face with a startlingly beautiful woman. Don't miss next month, The Menace of the Sea People.
Yeah, this is a 6-page story, so. But isn't that a way to kind of what a cliffhanger right there, huh? There, RJ.
Yeah, I was like, come on, we want to, what's she want? What's he got to do?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a way of making sure people come back. Yikes! Yeah. And then prisoner, special guest, kidnapped, victim. It's all a spectrum.
What you are is how you feel about it,
Yeah, I guess how you interpret the situation.
Yeah, they may have kidnapped you, but if you like it, like you can't rape the willing, right?
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna read this one. This will be the last one from this book. Then we'll go on to a couple stories from Speed Comics. Blazing Scarab here. So.
Walt Worthington, a young American archaeologist with an alliterative name like all heroes, brings back from an excavation in Egypt a curious tube containing a roll of ancient papyrus. He finds traced on it a mysterious map and hieroglyphics which he cannot decipher. He goes to consult his friend, Professor Chauncey, who is an authority on the ancient Egyptians.
So you want to do that? You want to do this guy right here?
I'll do the professor. Yes. My boy, these people of thousands of years ago had secrets which we cannot explain. This map leads to a talisman of tremendous importance. It is too dangerous. I advise you to forget all about this if you value your safety. Walt, fascinated by the old map, decides to follow it, despite the presser's warning.
Come on, Snowball. We mustn't miss the boat. Oh boy. There's another controversy. You see why I said oh boy?
Yeah, his name's Snowball.
Well, it's not just that. He's a controversial character, another type of controversial character that we had earlier.
I know, but they named him Snowball. They named him something white. Oh, okay. 3 weeks later.
Here we are, finally in Alexandria, and the longest part of our journey is over. And I'm taking it that Snowball is Walt Worthington's
personal assistant.
Personal assistant. The first thing I must do is look up someone very important. We're going in here. As the American consul, can you tell me how to get in touch with Mustafa Bey? You want to do the consulate guy right there?
He's the greatest authority on ancient Egypt, but I wouldn't trust him an inch. I'll give you his address, but you'll be on your own. I had been expecting you, Walt Worthington.
How could you? We just decided to call on you.
I even knew the moment you sailed from New York. You want my help in finding a certain spot shown on an old map. Even before you even speak, I have something to say. Go back to your own land. This quest will bring you nothing but disaster to you, and you cannot possibly succeed. Of course, you have the map with you?
Wouldn't you like to know? Forget it, Mustafa. Good day.
Let's go, boss! In a narrow street, several figures close in on them.
Shock!
Hit them again, boss. I's coming in. This is the way we do it down in Memphis, and I mean Memphis, Tennessee. Because they're in Egypt.
Because I think there might be a Memphis somewhere in that area as well.
Yeah, there's a Memphis, Egypt. That's what Memphis, Tennessee is named after. It was a very famous place.
There go the last of them, no doubt to report to Mustafa. That his little holdup didn't work.
I sure don't like that man, boss.
He knows that I have the map, and he won't rest until he gets it. We have no time to lose. Come on, Snowball. I can just hear you chuckling over there.
With hastily assembled laborers and supplies, Walt's caravan sets out that night. Boss, we ain't going to have no luck. I lost my rabbit's foot in that fight.
Nonsense. We must succeed.
Long days later, they reach the spot shown on the map.
Nothing but rolling sand still. I know my calculations are correct. This place must be the place.
The men are restless. They want to go back.
Nothing doing. Pitch camp at once and start digging tomorrow.
3 days later, Effendi, come quickly. We have struck something.
This is such a cool, and this, the Middle East, Northern Africa was used as a setting for a lot of these exotic type stories like this. These are some cool settings here. I knew I was right. It's the roof of a temple.
That night, Snowball discovers that the workers have deserted. Hey, boss, them Egyptians done took it on the lamb.
Let them go now. Let them go now that we've found what we came for. We'll explore it ourselves.
You mean it, boss? Please, boss, don't do nothing like that. Them mummy ghosts scared the Egyptians away. We can't go in there without my rabbit's foot.
Give a hand here, Snowball. Come on, we'll see what's down here.
All right, boss. I sure too scared to stay up here by myself.
Look at that! Why it glows like fire. It's a great ruby cut in the form of a scarab. Doesn't this remind you of another story?
Blue Beetle.
Uh-huh. It's beyond our reach. I'll get up on the altar and lift you up where you can get it.
No, boss. You go into town, Tonto. Them mummy ghosts will get us if we monkey with this stuff, boss.
Don't be so superstitious, Snowball. Come on. Don't be afraid. Let's see what it is. Going
It's going
away
away.
off. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's going away. I can't reach it.
Hey, Snowball!
The scarab recedes and draws Snowball after it. He vanishes into the ruby light.
There's the scarab back again. I don't know what has happened, but I've got to solve it somehow.
That would be a twist if they made Snowball into a superhero out of this scarab. It's like, yeah, boss, I'm going to be the hero now.
I must get to the bottom of this. Here are some things I can stand on. Now we'll see what this is all about. It's drawing me in!
Soon, Walt, like Snowball, disappears into the ruby glow.
Where are we?
I don't know, boss. This room looks like the same room, only different. What has happened to Walt and his faithful valet? Follow their extraordinary adventures in the next issue of Champion Comics.
All right, so as I said, well, let's see. So now we'll move on to Speed Comics. Let's see, where are we at? Hour 21.
We got a lot of cliffhangers out of this book. You better have me on for the next issue. I got to know if the champ's going to get those gamblers. I got to know where these guys ended up.
Well, I don't know if, again, depends upon how things rotate and stuff like that. But you can always watch the show as I'm doing it too. So even if you're not the co-host that night, you can still come on and watch it next time I cover these books. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, I love Egyptology from JR. Is that a Japanese servant?
No, it is not.
Or Egyptian?
Not that either.
Memphis is a burial city in Egypt. Okay. All right. So, anyways, now with that being said, let's go back a couple of things here. Now we got to, of course, go back up to find Speed Comics, and then do a couple. And the two stories we'll read it for the Speed Comics are both like 4 pages each. So we'll probably get through those. By the time we get through those, they'll be like probably quarter till. So, guessing. I got it. Let's see. Speed Comics, which was Harvey. There we go. Speed Comics number 3. Oh wait. No, number 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, what happened was, okay, so number 2. There's number 3. All right. Sometimes they'll do 2 copies of one book for some reason.
Yeah.
So here's Speed Comics, Shock Gibson, big double-length feature. Shock Gibson is normally 22 pages, and we've read his stories before, but we're not reading them today because it would just be too long. And I wanted to get those other stories in, obviously. But anyways, look at this. You can make your own records if you sing or play an instrument.
Or even if you just talk.
Yeah. Shock Gibson. We'll kind of just breeze through the pictures there real quick. And yes, I know he looks like somewhat like he has the same color scheme like the Golden Age Flash. Something we discussed on here before. Crash. Ted Parrish. Here we go. So here's the first story we're going to look at here from this. And Ted Parrish and then Tex Tyler will be the other one. So let's see. Yeah, hour 24 here. Ted Parrish, the man with 1,000 faces. Go ahead, RJ.
At a Hollywood party.
Actually, I think the green one was.
Oh. Why did it? Come on, guys. Layer it right. Unknown to the public, Ted Parrish, famous movie star, using his talent for acting and disguise, is the man with 1,000 faces, scourge of the underworld. They probably based this on Lon Chaney.
Now at a Hollywood party.
Yes, at a Hollywood party.
Nice, nice party, isn't it, Ted? I'll let you do Ted right there.
All right. Yes, but look, our hostess seems excited.
Eek! My jewels! They have been stolen!
I'll call the police. Detectives arrive.
My jewels were locked in this bureau drawer. It was forced open. You started on the detective there.
Yeah. I didn't mean to. I was just humming. But looks like an inside job. Somebody let the thieves in.
But who?
Parrish draws aside. There's been an
outbreak. There has been an outbreak of these jewel robberies recently. Oh wait, did I give you? Actually, I gave you Ted, didn't I?
Yep.
Sorry about that. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
It's hard to tell them apart. There's been an outbreak of these jewel robberies recently. I guess the man with 1,000 faces will have to see action again. Ted is disguised.
Hey there! Crash! I sentence you to 10 days in jail for disorderly conduct.
Oh, well, that was something I always wanted to do. Later, in jail. Yeah, I'm a stranger in this town. I've got some ice to unload, and I don't know where.
Give me a cut, and I'll steer you to a fence.
Does he handle big stuff?
Big? Why, he gets all the movie star ice. He uses a soda counter as a blind. Now, what do you think a blind means there?
It's a front. It's a front.
Yeah.
So it's
before we continue, I need to go off camera here real quick because it's getting pretty dim in here. So if you want to, I don't know, give your impressions on what we've read thus far, or plug any projects you're doing or what have you, just entertain the troops here for a moment while I just get some more lighting in here. Okay.
I can juggle. Yeah, you've seen people juggle these before. I'm not going to do more than one, but so yeah, we've where we've been to the champ, who to me is starting to sound a bit like prototypical Captain America. I've not checked the years on these comics yet. I don't know if Captain America was already published, but if it wasn't, somebody copied something. Because I do believe that that's the path the champ is going down. The undersea one, that one read more like an Edgar Rice Burroughs new kind of world story, although I don't recall Burroughs doing anything under the sea. He went more to other planets and Hollow Earth stuff. But now we're going to find out the Man of 1,000 Faces. I said it might have been based on Lon Chaney because Lon Chaney was an actor around that time, not Lon Chaney Jr., who the Wolfman, that was his son. But Lon Chaney was a makeup expert and artist, and he was raised by deaf parents. And what he would do is he was an extra on the sets, and these sets would put out calls for people to act a role, and they would basically put a big sign up said, we need 3 men with dark skin, we need somebody with a scar on their cheek, we need some Native Americans, I think they said Indians then, and if you weren't one of those things, you didn't get picked. Well, he just looked at who was needing what on what schedules, and and he went over to his makeup kit, and he would make himself look like that, and then go to the call, and they'd pick him right out because he was exactly what was being described. And he was getting 6, 7, 8 jobs a day. So he was starting to rake in the cash because he was always able to fit the role, earning him the title Man of 1,000 Faces. And now we're back.
All right, so let me just catch on here. If the FBI didn't believe the mafia existed, why did these New York published comics feature gangs fixing college sports and scourges of the underworld?
Well,
yeah, you had a lot of stories like this. RJ, you want to try to answer that?
Yeah, well, the FBI saying the mafia didn't exist is a lot like Clark Kent saying, "No, I'm not Superman, Lois."
And then if you saw the cartoons of that, of course, he'd like do his little wink, and
Yeah.
to the
not
as an
Superman,
aside to the audience.
Dum-ba-dum-bum.
All right. So you're free now, but I suppose we'll see you again soon.
Not if I can help it, Warden. In various disguises, Parrish watches at the fence's store. Nobody's suspicious yet. Well, this one's going to get hard because you're never going to know when it's him. There's somebody who was at that party. Why, it's Dwight Snoop. Later, at another party, there's Snoop now. I'll keep my eye on him. There he goes, sneaking away now. I'll follow him.
Through here, men, quietly. Hurry, can't stay away long. They'll notice I've gone. Nice haul, boys. I have to get back to the party.
I wouldn't want Snood to recognize me. I'll use a little makeup. Oh, Mr. Snood, may I see you for a minute?
Surely. Listen, you're...
That's still the same guy. See, he changes his face. It's hard to tell it's him.
Yeah.
Listen, you're going to take me to your hideout.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe this will help your memory. I wouldn't like to sock you again, but...
Okay, I'll take you there.
No funny stuff now. I have you covered.
I have to knock a signal before we can get in.
Go ahead.
That's the warning knock. Something's gone wrong.
Hands up, all of you.
Sucker, you can't get away with this.
Oh, want to fight, eh? Ted's iron fists flail out.
What hit me?
I have the drop on you again. Those of you who can stand up, tie the others in the car. Hurry, I have a nervous trigger finger. This is where I get off, gents. I'll fix this horn.
Milligan, go out and see what's making that infernal racket. Honk! Well, I'll be.
Here are the jewel thieves you've been looking for. The loot is in the car. Always glad to be of service. Signed, the man with 1,000 faces.
The man with 1,000 faces? Woo! That guy's a one-man police force.
Later, at the movie studios.
Cut! No, 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 no. That's not right, Parrish. You call yourself an actor? Why, I'll bet that man with a thousand faces could do a better acting part than you any day.
Ted Parrish, the man with 1,000 faces, in another high-speed adventure in next month's issue.
Aren't you getting excited for these stories, huh, RJ?
Oh, they're cool.
So we're gonna do one more, and then as soon as we get there, of course. Let's see. Not smoke card. Not that one. Let's see. Looking for Tex Tyler. And okay. Before we start this one, RJ, I'm gonna ask you to entertain everybody again for another couple of minutes here. I need to step away from the computer one more time here. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I have been busy this past several weeks, folks. We are editing a couple of new books that I can't tell you everything about it, but we just finished putting the final art touches on a 530-page volume that we're going to be releasing soon. And the one that I have solicited that we're still reading for, by the way, if you are a writer in the horror genre, hit us up, hit our webpage, look at the publishing page, see what we're reading for. The Monsters Next Door. We're going to have an anthology planned for 20 stories, maybe more. If I get more than 20 stories that I simply can't cut somebody away from, we'll just work with it. But right now we've got plenty of great stories. There are going to be, each one is going to have an illustration to it. So we're going all out on this one. The Monsters Next Door. We stopped reading in June. We're looking to publish this one in September. So it's going to be an exciting year. That one plus the book that I mentioned that we're not soliciting yet. Going to be two big books. We've also got there's a novel that somebody has submitted that we're reading through to see how that works out. So we may have some fresh fiction that way, and graphic novels are also a thing. So yeah, we've got a graphic novel in the mix. I'm waiting for the proof to come back, and if it does pass muster, we're going to turn on that. And guess what? You won't have to crowdfund that. You just go straight to Amazon for all these projects. You can go straight to Amazon for them. We may crowdfund the Monsters Next Door in a hardcover edition, limited and numbered and signed. But in general, the paperback version will be available wherever books are sold. If you have a Barnes & Noble near you that you like to go to, you'll be able to go in there. In fact, you can go there and ask for any of our other books, like The Devil You Know or The Devil You Know Better. Right. And now back to you, Mike.
All right. Yep, I'm back. Thank you for doing that, RJ.
You say this is the last one?
Yeah, because I think we're getting. Let's see, we're at like an hour 38 here. So
yeah,
I think we made pretty good time there on the readings. What would you say?
I think we have. I'm getting a little sore in the adenoids here, or whatever these oids are.
I think I had you do more of the voices tonight. As you can tell, I'm recovering from a cold myself. So, but anyways, okay. So you want to read the title there and the first little thing, and then
Texas Tyler by Harry Walters. Tex foils a band of desperate cattle thieves.
Time I was getting me a job, I'll try the next ranch. This road ought to lead to a ranch, but which way?
He turns to the left, and things begin to happen.
Retire, hombre, and get off in that hoss. I'll leave your 6 guns down the road. All I need's your hoss. Mine busted a leg. Thank you, Coyote. A foot and no idea where I'm at. Reckon I might as well start walking somewhere.
After several weary miles.
Wonder what them buzzards are so interested in. This fella's been shot, and he's hurt bad. I hope this hoss knows the way home, 'cause I don't.
The horse trots faithfully home to the K-Bar Ranch.
Howdy, miss. Guess this is where this poor hombre lives. Dad, what happened?
Tyler explains and tells of his own mishap. Della Wilson is very grateful.
You you can have a job here. I'll tell Jim Barnes, the foreman.
But Jim Barnes is not friendly. We've read this story. It was a different cowboy, but it's the exact same story.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Right down to the foreman being the inside job.
just goes to show you, you know, different artists, just obvious, yeah, basically same plot line, same kind of characters and all that. You want to do Jim Barnes here, RJ?
We've been missing cattle, and I don't like strangers around. But Della's the boss, with the old man hurt. Next day, Tyler is sent out to look for stray cattle.
That's my hoss track. I know the mark of that front left shoe. I'm supposed to be hunting cattle, but I want that hoss.
Tex follows the tracks for several miles, and at dusk, he sights a shack with his horse in the corral. After dark, as Tex creeps up to the shack, a dark figure rides up and enters.
The feller that stole my hoss is my hoss and Jim Barnes.
Inside the shack, just hired a new feller at the ranch, Luke. Smart looking hombre. We gotta be careful.
I think I had you do the
I did Jeb. Yeah. I did the foreman. I just did him. So
yeah.
This is the guy who stole the hoss. You did that.
Okay, yeah. What's he look like?
Suddenly, a figure steals up behind. A gun thuds down on Tex's head.
And RJ, what does steal in this case mean?
A sneak. You steal up behind somebody, you sneak up on them.
Mm-hmm. I seen this feller again the light as I rode up.
Tyler.
The feller whose hoss I stole.
When Tex becomes conscious, he is alone in the dark shack, tied hand and foot. He manages to upset the table and cuts the rope on his wrist with parts of the broken lamp. Tex emerges from the shack. He looks around.
The place is empty. Everybody's gone, and me without a gun.
In the distance, he hears the rumble of hooves.
Cattle coming this way. K-Bar cattle, and Jim Barnes is stealing them.
Tyler sees his own stolen horse. He gives a shrill whistle. The horse whirls and throws the rider.
Good work, pal. And my rifle's still in the scabbard. What a break. Hands up, thieving coyotes. Yeah, but this story, I think, is going a little quicker than the one we read before. Of course, it was only 4 pages, so.
We get up. Don't shoot, Tyler. Don't.
I don't know which one of you shot the old man, but I reckon y'all talk later. Yeah, you're sure mopped up those rustlers. Guess with Barnes in jail, I'll be needing a new foreman. Won't you take the job? Sorry. All right. Sorry, but I've got to be rambling on.
Yeah, I'm a shiftless bum. I take work when I need a few bucks. I don't stay in one place too long. Follow the action-packed adventures of Tex Tyler in the next issue.
All right, so how did you like those stories, RJ?
That was, this one was a funnier one. He needs a job. He takes a job. Hey, you want the better job? Oh no, don't want the better job. No, thank you. I've got to be moving on. I'm like Bruce Banner at the end of every episode of the Hulk. I got to walk on down the road and go somewhere else nobody knows me.
Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to living the best I can.
Well, I'm not doing karaoke tonight. Not with this sore throat.
Yeah. Let's see. So,
Voices was the best I could pull off.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you know me. I just like to. Sometimes I just like to start singing just for the.
Oh, I know. Hey, speaking of things that you sing, like television shows, I am going to be at the Bentonville Comic Con in June, and I will be there with Kimberly Page, the Pink Ranger, I believe.
Kimberly Page. Oh, that was her character name. So you're gonna. So Amy Jo Johnson is gonna be there.
Let me make double sure who's going to be there. Come on, there's the guests. No, I'm sorry, I said the character name, but not the right Pink Ranger. Catherine Sutherland is going to be there.
Okay, yeah, she was a later one, I believe.
Yeah. As is Nakia Baris, the Yellow Power Ranger
from one of the later series, I believe. So, anyways, all right. Anything else there, RJ? Or
no, Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, but who cares about that?
Frieza, the voice of there have been a few Friezas. Is it the woman or is it a man?
Linda Young.
Linda Young. Okay, yeah, Linda Young, who of course did the English voice for Frieza for a long time. She was also Genkai in Yu Yu Hakusho. Those are probably her two most famous roles. Actually, even in fact, even in Dragon Ball, aside from Frieza, she also did Fortune Teller Baba as well in Dragon Ball. So, anyways, let's see. So Woody was saying here, maybe I can make it out to Bentonville for that.
It would be cool. Yeah, we'll have a table full of books.
All right. Well, we're at an hour 48 now, so I think it's a good time to start winding down here. Hope everybody had fun tonight. So we're going to start to wrap up here. So the last thing we do, of course, today being Friday, May 5th, 2023, we're going to take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! So first off, we're going to head back 30 years ago today. As on this date 30 years ago today, the anime film Ocean Waves premiered on Nippon TV from Studio Ghibli. So Studio Ghibli's Ocean Waves, in Japan known as I Can Hear the Sea, premiered on Nippon TV on this date 30 years ago today, back in 1993. 93 was the year I graduated from high school. So, what was that, RJ?
I didn't say anything.
Sound like you were about to say something, so that's why. Nietzsche's good, yeah. Nietzsche good. All right, so with that, moving on to the next piece of Nietzsche history here. We're heading to 1999 on this date, 24 years ago today. On this date, 24 years ago today, the 60th issue of Savage Dragon from Image Comics went on sale on this date. No title, but of course the story was written by Eric Larson, written art by Eric Larson, lettering done by Christopher P. Elopoulos, and colored by Ruben Rude. 20 pages. So Sold for $2.50, 32 pages. Savage Dragon number 60 went on sale on this date 24 years ago today.
Back when it was still good.
Did you read that story? Or do you have any idea what that story was about? Or
No. I just tell by the cover that it was the original Savage Dragon before Eric Larson took his jaunt into weird porn.
Weird porn and or wokeism?
Yeah, well, wokeism, but mostly porn.
All right. So, anyways, with that, we have one more piece of Nietzsche history here. We're going back 20 years ago today. And on this date, oops. Guess I hit the wrong one there. Let me try that again. All right. On this date, 20 years ago today, back in 2003, from the Metro Center in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event. The main event saw Jazz, with Teddy Long in their corner, Theodore Long as he was known at that point, retain the WWE Women's Championship over Trish Stratus. Law Resistance defeated Spike Dudley and Tommy Dreamer. Kane and RVD retained the WWE Tag Team Championships over Scott Steiner and Test with Stacy Keibler in their corner. And then Jerry Lawler defeated Chief Morley in a Jim Ross job on the line match. My guess is if Jerry Lawler had lost, Jim Ross would have been storyline fired from his announce position on Raw, but he won to save Jim Ross's job. So there we go. All right. So how did you like all that tonight, RJ?
This was a fun one.
All right, and I hope we'll see you back on Sunday for the panel show on the weekend edition, where you can share your experiences with some of the other panelists. You know, see if we can get some more people start watching them on the off weeks when they're not co-hosting. You know, because you never know. You never know. I still have to, of course. Well, I don't have to schedule because I already have you scheduled for 2 more shows anyway, so I don't need to do that with you. But we can still wrap up afterwards. So, anyways, guys, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody had a good time and enjoyed the content that we read. And we will see you. Hopefully, we'll see everybody back here on Sunday. And don't forget, next week. Man, I got to remember some of this stuff. Next week, of course, I will have Metal on with me as we will continue our look through books that went on sale in October of 1939. Next week, we'll be looking at Centaur Publications, the books that went on sale from Centaur, which, of course, will probably include like Amazing Man, Deliverance Amazing Man, among others. And I know you like Amazing Man, RJ, so you're going to probably want to make sure you have a chance to watch it at some point. Among some of the others, we'll figure out who else we'll read next week, of course, when we get to that point. But anyways, I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday when we have our panel show. Hopefully you'll join us as well, RJ, to recount your experiences here. And with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I will see you all on Sunday. Bye.